Good afternoon, it's Nicholas from Gandor Gaming, and today I bring you guys a forgotten leader, that being Kuro of the Black Cat Pirates. This is an OP03 leader that is mono green that everyone has actually forgotten about. It is very fun and very cool, and has not gotten a lot of support over the years because of the simple fact that we haven't really got that much East Blue cards. The most recent support he has gotten was from OP06, where we got the brand new Fisherman Island cards, and we got some brand new cards in the blue-green Sanji structure deck. Well, it was blue-green Sanji Zoro structure deck, and there's a couple of East Blue cards there that are pretty cool, but overall, nothing to make Kuro anything meta, so he's been falling off to the wayside as a forgotten leader. But ever since this leader came out, I always thought he had huge potential, and if he ever does get some really good support, this leader can become great again. So let's actually talk about him. So this is a 5-life green leader, mono green. He has the effect where you can rest 3 Dawn, then you rest 2 of your East Blue type characters, set this leader as active, and rest one of your opponent's characters with 5 or less costs. So the idea here is that basically you play low-cost East Blue characters, you rest them, and then basically it allows you to swing again and rest their blocker. At least that's kind of the gimmick of the deck. Really cool, really fun. Is it practical? Not really. Your better luck is playing Eustace Captain Kidd as the 5-cost leader from the starter decks. But ultimately, both leaders are kind of falling off because double attack leaders aren't the greatest, especially if this leader requires you to rest 2 of your characters, and we are in a format where characters do not survive usually past turn 1, especially low-cost characters. So that's really the biggest issue with Kuro. Black and Red Purple Law kind of eat this leader alive because this leader needs his little characters to survive, and basically that never happens because those decks eat their little characters alive because they either bomb deck it with Law's ability or they just swing into them because you have to rest them with leader effect. It's just not a good look for Kuro, and he hasn't got any support since really OP03, so yeah, it hasn't been great. But we got generic green support over the years that actually makes it better, so let's talk about it. First things first, Hody motherfucking Jones. Hody motherfucking Jones is not an East Blue card, but he is one of the best rush down cards green has access to, if not the best. 7 cost, 8,000 rush character on play. Basically, you lose your life, but who cares because you get to rest 2 of your opponent's characters. Does not require them to be a 5 cost, 6 cost, 10 cost, doesn't really matter. It will rest them, which is absolutely insane, and it's really good for pushing for a game. Really great card, and overall fantastic. Next card we are playing is a vanilla. We're playing for Kuro. So you're probably wondering why are we playing a vanilla in this deck? Well, the reason why is because of the spell card we have that can restand Kuro. So it doesn't have to restand our leader. It can actually restand the vanilla, which is actually pretty insane, which is really good. So this is just a 6 cost that we can restand with our event, which is really powerful. And then it's just a big beat stick that beats our opponent. Not to mention, worst comes to worst, we could technically rest it with leader ability, but it never happens because this card's bigger than our leader. Next, we are playing for Don Krieg. Don Krieg's absolutely insane. This is the reason I built the deck all the years ago. This card's absolutely insane. It's probably one of the best sleeper green cards. On play, you may trash 1 card from your hand to KO up to 2 of your opponent's 4-cost characters. Then, if you put 1 Dawn in it, this guy gains double attack for the turn, which is absolutely insane. And it's a really powerful card in general. So, double attack is a very scary ability, and the fact that he's a 6 cost 7k, so it becomes an 8k when you put a Dawn on him, is very intimidating. Also, the fact that he just literally just kills 4-2 rested units is also really good, especially against decks that go wide like Blue Dolphy. This card kind of puts them back in their place. It's kind of like a Gravity Blade, but worse. And it only deals with 4 or less, but who cares? It's still really good. Next, we're playing 2 Django. We are an East Blue type leader, so we do have access to Django. If you are familiar with my Arlong deck profile, I'm also playing 2 Django in that deck. Django's really good. Basically, on play, you get to choose one of these effects. Either set 1 East Blue type leader or character as active, that is 6 or less. hey, look, Django 6 or less, what's it called, Kuro 6 or less, so you can restand your 8 costs. Or, hey, look at that. You can also rest one of your opponent's characters. Does not matter their cost, it just rests them, which is really, really good. So, Kuro's a really great 2 of. Django, my bad, is a really good 2 of. We'd probably play him at 4 if he had counter, but he has no counter, so we play him as a 2 of. Next, we're playing 4 Jin. This is another lock card for the East Blue archetype. This card's absolutely insane. Basically says, hey, on play, rest 2 of your opponent's 4 cost or lower characters. Helps you push into them, which is really, really good. And overall, it's a fantastic card. Now let's talk about our Fishman. We're playing 4 Hachin. This card is amazing. It not only is it a trigger to play itself from life, which actually does matter. Usually you don't want to activate that trigger because he's only a 4 cost 4,000. But because you trigger him off life and he plays himself, if your opponent does not remove him, then cool, you can just rest him for free on your turn and get that double swing, which is really, really good. Not to mention, he's just a really generic 2K that is searchable in the deck. We also played 4 Kurobi. Kurobi's absolutely insane. Basically, he says, hey, if your leader is these blue type, rest any character, which is really, really good. So there's a lot of resting in this deck. This can rest any card in the game. He is a little expensive for his cost. A 4 cost 3,000 is not the greatest, but hey, he is ultimately played because he is still ultimately good. Next we play 2 Chew. Chew's fine. He's a Chew toy, but he's a number 4 cost character that can play himself from life, but also he KOs an opponent's 4 cost arrested character. He's probably the worst of the bunch, but we still play him because he's blue, so he's searchable. Not to mention he does pop arrested characters, which is pretty nice. And overall, he's an okay card. Next, we're playing 4 Rika. This card used to be our lovely Isho, but Isho is not searchable in the deck. Not to mention we have plenty of resting as it is, especially with Hody Jones. That we don't really play Isho anymore. This also could be our lovely blocker. So I actually took the blocker out for this guy. The reason why is because I wanted to fit Hody Jones in the deck, and 2 costs 1,000 counter blocker just isn't good anymore, especially in our format where anything is getting killed left and right. So I figured, why not just play a 2K instead? That just helps us in counter against our opponent. Not to mention, it's the same cost. If we do play it and end up resting it, who cares? And then this card has basically no effect. On play, you may rest 2 Dawn to then restand a character with Slash. But we're not really doing that, so it's alright. It also has to be a 4 or less character with Slash. It can't restand, let's say, I don't know, a character with like 8 cost that has Slash. So it's not the greatest card. We're not ever using its on-play effect. We're just using it as a 2 cost low character that can basically restand a leader. We're also playing 4 Nami. Nami's just insane. She's our searcher for the deck. I'm surprised they actually made her a 2 cost. They made every other searcher for every other archetype either a 3 cost or a 1 cost. But for some reason, Nami is a 2 cost 2,000 that says, hey, I'm playing the top 5 cards of your deck, and you get out East Blue from your deck to hand. Also, she's one of the best triggers where she just plays herself for free, which gives you a search, which is really, really good. Finally, we're playing our really low characters, that being Alvida. Alvida is this vanilla. She is just a vanilla, and the only reason why we're playing her is because she's a low-cost character we can use with leader ability, so we can stand it and then attack twice. That is the only reason why we're playing Alvida. Same thing goes for Eric. Eric sucks as well. Eric says, hey, activate main, rest this character, the rest of the 1-cost character. Guess what? There's not really that many good 1-cost characters in the game that we care to rest, so that effect is nothing. He is just vanilla. These are just vanillas, and I hate both of them equally, but you have to play to make this leader playable because the leader needs to rest low-cost characters, and these are the lowest characters you can get to rest, thus you gotta play them. But basically, once you use their effects once, they will be fodder. Well, they're kind of meat shields. If your opponent isn't playing black, they have to swing into them, so I guess there you go. And then finally, we're playing 4 Pump Gibson. Now, this card is not East Blue, but it's too perfect for the deck. This card literally rests as a 4 or less character, which is absolutely insane. Not to mention, it gets you 4,000 power. Its trigger just says rest a character, which is absolutely insane. And then finally, we're playing 2 out of the bag. Now, this is the event I was talking about that can restand any Kuro. Rest one of your East Blue type characters to set 1 Kuro as active. That means it can restand your 6 cost character. So basically, on your 10 Dawn turn, you can make Kuro a 9k swing. Basically, you'll make him 9. Activate out of the bag and restand him twice. So 2 9s is really, really good. Or if you do it to leader, basically, if you do it to leader, you can make him an 11k swing and swing twice, which is also really, really good. So that is it for the deck profile. I really hope you all enjoy. Don't do anything stupid. See you on the next one. And please, Konami or Bandai or whoever owns this card game, give Black Cat, Kuro, or just East Blue in general some support and some love. Because good God, they need it. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed. Don't do anything stupid. See you on the next one. And bye-bye.